Jai Hind to all. Myself Dr. Ruchi Gupta. Today I am going to present a topic on computer network. The topic is basics of computer network. So, basically the computer network is a collection of devices. So, first of all, before starting the concept of computer network, first of all we have to know what is computer. So, basically computer is a machine. It can be any device, it can be any laptop, mobile phone, palm top, etc. Which is you use for carrying some instruction, and it is used for performing some operations. The operations, it may be a logical operations or a syntactical operations. So, when we have to connect two or more than two computers with each other, then it is called networking. So, the networking is basically networking. It is a set of devices. It is a collection of computers which are connected through a communication link. So, we have to create a network with the help of various devices that are connected with each other, and the devices or a node, it can be any computer, it can be a printer or any other device which can be used for sending or receiving the data, or it can be capable for sending and receiving any type of information through the network. So, when we have to combine the two terms, computer and network, then it become a computer network. So, the definition of computer network is that it is a collection of two or more than two computers which are linked in order to share some resource. So, we have to connect two or more than two computers for sharing the information, for exchanging the data, or for sharing the resources through some electronical communication medium. So, the computers on a network, it may be a link through a cable, it can be connected through a physical media or some unguided or some wireless media. So, it can be connected if we are using a wired media. So, we are using cables, telephone lines, and if we are using a unguided media, so in that case we will use a radio wave, satellite or infrared light beams. So, basically there are two aspects of computer network. One is a hardware and another one is a software. If we are talking about the hardware, hardware is basically a typical physical connection between two or more than two devices. So, when we have to connect the devices, then there is a need of some hardwares like cables, routers, bridges, etc. These all are hardware devices. So, with some hardware devices, there is a need of some software also for creating a network. So, software include it is some set of protocols, or as we all know that protocols are some set of rules that define a formal among various components, and it makes hardware usable by the application. So, these two components are necessary for creating any network. One is a hardware and second one is a software. So, computer network, it is a collection of autonomous computers which are used for exchanging the information, and there is no need of any master or a slave computer in the when we have to design a network. Now, we come on goal of computer network. Why there is a need of computer network? Well, we have already used the computers. So, there are number of advantages or number of benefits of using a computer network. So, the first goal for using a computer network, it is a resource sharing. So, the purpose of resource sharing is that we can share the data, we can share the information through the network. So, this is the main aim of computer network. It means to make all the programs or peripherals and the data available to any computer. We can share the data or information from one computer or from one network to another computer or another network without the physical location of the networks. The major goal of computer network is the high reliability. High reliability means we can create a copy of our data in a different locations. So if any condition, if our one site is failed due to any reason, so we can recover our information from another device or the another network if we have create a copy or a schema of our data. So it is a major goal for using a computer network. It provides the high reliability by having a alternate sources of supply. So for example, if all the files, it could be replicated on 2 or more than 2 machines. So if one machine is unavailable due to any reason, so we can access the data from another machine where we have to copy it. So the next goal of computer network is the cost reduction. This is also an important goal. This is also an important point through which we have to create a network, because cost is the major issue. So if we have to connect 2 or more than 2 devices through a network, so we have to reduce the cost of the network. Because why we have to reduce the cost? Because in that case we have to share the resources. If we have connected 2, 3, 4 computers, and we have to connect one printer with 2, 3 devices, so all these computers can share the same printer. So the cost will be reduced automatically, and we can save the money. Next is the communication medium. So as we all know that computer network, it basically used for providing a communication. It basically provides us the connectivity. So computer network, it provides a powerful communication medium. File can be updated or modified in a network. It can be seen by any user in the network immediately. This is also a major benefit of using a computer network, because all the data is to be distributed among the sites. So if we have to change or modify the data in one site, then the data will be automatically modified or updated at all the sites. So these are the major goals of computer network. Now components of data communication system. We are using if we are using a network, or if we want to implement a network, if we want to connect 2 or more than 2 devices, so we need various components. So what are these components? There is a need of one device which is act as a sender. We use another device which act as a receiver. We need one medium, that is a communication medium. It may be a wired medium or a wireless medium. And the next important component which we are using at the time of implementation of networking is the protocol. So protocols are basically, these are the set of rules through which we have to communicate, through which we have to exchange the data or information between sender and receiver. So the word data, it refers to the information which are presented in whatever the form, it may be in the form of text, multimedia content, or any other type of content. It may be in any form. It is agreed upon by the parties that creating and using the data. And data communications are exchanging of data or information between 2 or more than two devices by some mode of transmission medium. It may be a wired media or a wireless media. So these are some other components of the network. One is message. A message, it may be an information or data which we want to communicate. It is in the form of text, numbers, pictures, audio and video. Second is a sender. Sender is a device that is capable for sending the data or information or message. It can be any device, it can be a computer, telephone, handset, video camera and so on. Next component is the receiver. The receiver is a device that is capable for receiving the information. It may be a computer, laptop, handset, television, etc. Now, the next component is the transmission medium. Transmission medium, it may be a wired medium or the wireless medium, because there are two type of transmission medium is used for connecting the network. One is the wired media and second one is guided media and second one is the unguided media. So, for examples like if we are using a wired media, then we will use a coaxial cable, twisted pair and fiber optic cables. And if we are using a unguided media, so in that case we will use a satellite media, microwave, infrared waves, etc. And the last one is the protocol. So, protocols are the set of rules which are govern the data communication through, or we can say that protocols are the set of rules through which we have to exchange the information from sender to receiver. So, the protocol, it is a set of rules that define us that what we want to communicate, how the information is communicated and when we will communicate it. So, the key elements of the protocols are syntax, semantics and the timings. I will discuss the complete protocol of different protocols architecture in detail later. Now, we come on the topic, the mode of transmission. So, the basically mode of transmission means how the information is to be transmitted from source to destination. So, there are various type of data flow methods or modes of data flow are available. So, one is a simplex mode, second is a half duplex mode and third one is a full duplex mode. So, these are the three categories, simplex, full duplex and half duplex. So, if we are coming on the first category, that is a simplex mode. So, in the simplex mode, only one device is responsible for sending the data and the another device is only responsible for receiving the data at a time, any time. We can take an example of this simplex mode. We can like keyboard, mouse, these are the examples of simplex mode. Only one device is used for sending the data and the another device is only responsible for receiving that data. Now, if we are coming on the second mode of communication, that is half duplex mode. So, in the half duplex mode, at a time only one device can send the data and the next time another device can send the data. Means at a time if one device sending the data, then the second device is only responsible for receiving that data only. And the next time if the second device is responsible for sending the data, then first device is only receiving the data. So, it means we can say the direction of data at time 1, it may be a unidirection. And we can take an example of this half duplex mode. Walkie-talkie is an example of this half duplex mode. Now, we come on the third type of mode of transport mode, that is full duplex. So, in the full duplex mode, both the device, sender or the receiver, both are equally responsible for sending or receiving the data simultaneously. So, it is a bidirectional mode, direction of data all the times. So, we can take the example, mobile phone system is an example of this full duplex mode. So, this is the description of all the modes which I have already discussed. Simplex mode, the communication is unidirectional as one on base feed, only one device can send the data and other device can receive the data. Example like keyboard, traditional monitors are the example of this simplex device. Now we come on the another mode, that is a half duplex mode. In the half duplex mode, each station can transmit, both can receive or send the data, but at the same time only one device is sending and another device can receive, and vice versa. So, for example, when cars are traveling in the one direction, cars going to another way must wait. In half duplex mode, a walkie-talkie is an example of a half duplex system. The third one is the full duplex. As I have already told you that full duplex, in the full duplex case, both stations can transit or receive the data simultaneously. It's like a two-way street, or it's a bidirectional method. In this full duplex mode, signals going in one direction share the capacity of the link. If we are taking an example of this full duplex mode, it is a telephonic network. So, when two pupils communicate by the telephone lines, both persons can contact with each other simultaneously, both can talk and listen at the same time. So, the full duplex mode is used when communication in the both direction is all the time. So, the capacity of channel, it must be divided between the two direction. So, these are the mode of communication. Now, we come on the categories of topology. So, before going on to the types of topology, first of all, we have to know what is the concept of topology. What is topology? So, topology is basically, it is a connection, it is a method of connecting the network. How we can connect the networks? There are number of methods for connecting a network or connecting the devices. So, this method, the physically connection of the devices is called the topology. So, the term topology, it refers to the way in which a network is laid down physically. So, one or more than one devices can connect it through a link and it forms a topology. And the topology of a network, it is a geometrical representation of the links and the linking devices, which are called nodes. And we are using, generally we are using a 4 type of topology: mesh, star, bus and ring. So, first of all, the mesh topology. So, what is the concept of mesh topology? Suppose in this example, we are using a 5 nodes. So, in the mesh topology, every device has a dedicated link. Every device has a dedicated link with other device. So, the link carries traffic between the two devices which are directly connected. It uses a duplex mode. If we are taking the advantages, so it guarantees that your data is successfully transmitted from source to destination because it creates a dedicated link. Second, it eliminates the traffic problem because there is no node between two of them. It contains the privacy and security and fault identification. But some disadvantages are also in this system. The major disadvantage of using this mesh system is the more cabling required, because we have to create a dedicated link between all the devices. So, we need more cables, and wiring is greater than the available space. Cost is automatically increased, and hardware is required for each link. It is very expensive. Now, the next topology is the star topology. In the star topology, all the devices are connected through a central controller or a hub. So, there is no dedicated link between the devices. All the devices are directly connected with a central controller. If one device want to send the data to another device, so first of all the data is being transmitted from station 1 to hub, then from hub to station 2. So in this star topology, each device has a dedicated point-to-point link only to a central controller, which is called hub. So we can say that controller act as an exchange of information from one device to another device. So if we are taking the advantages, it is less expensive as compared to the mesh topology. Robustness, suppose if one link fail, so our data, in that case our data will be safe, because all the data is stored on the central controller. Now the disadvantage, the whole network, the whole stations are dependent on a central controller. So if any situation, if any condition, if any point of time, if your central controller will damage, so your whole data will be lost. So it is a star topology. Cabling is also one issue in that case. Now we use our next topology, that is bus topology. So in the bus topology, we have to connect all the devices through a single link. It is a multi-point. All the devices are connected to a different point, but we use a long single cable. One long cable acts as a backbone, and nodes are connected by the bus cable by the drop line and the taps. If we are taking the advantages, it is very easy to install because there is only one cable is required. But the disadvantage, it is difficult to reconnection. Suppose if one station is failed due to any reason, so each and every station has a dedicated link to its successor or the predecessor. So if suppose one station is failed, so in that case its successor is automatically failed because your information is not going to forward. So it is until we have to replace that station, until we have to replace that failed station, we cannot move further. So this is a drawback of this bus topology. Now the next topology is a ring topology. In the ring topology, we have to use a single wire, and all the devices have a point-to-point connection with only two devices on either side. So a signal is passed along a ring in a one directional. A ring topology, it is a unidirectional ring. So always we have to transmit the data from forward direction, not into the backward direction. A signal is passed along a ring in only a one direction from device to device until it reaches to the destination. So advantage, it is very easy to install and configure. We can easily install the ring topology. To add or delete a device, it requires changing only two connections. Suppose if one device may fail for any reason, so there is a need of just replace that device only. We cannot modify or change the whole network. We will only replace that station which will fail due to any reason. So to add or delete a device, it requires changing only two connections. The constants are media and traffic. Now the disadvantage is it is a unidirectional ring only. Suppose if I want to send the data to my predecessor, that I can't send, the data is being transmitted to the successor nodes only. And the second disadvantage is that if due to any reason, if your ring is break, so the ring can disable the entire network. So it is the disadvantage of the ring topology. Now the next is the hybrid topology. Hybrid topology is basically, it is a combination of all the topologies like star, bus, mesh, ring. We can create a network, we can implement a network with the help of various topologies in a single mode. So that's why it is called a hybrid topology, or it can be, we can say it is a combination of star, bus and ring or other topologies. So hybrid topology, it is a combination of all the topologies. So we have to create the network with the help of using any of the topology. So this is the concept of topologies. Thank you very much.